Alright, in this video we're going to talk about relationships. Tables are related. The table object is related to another table object based on relationships, hence the name relational databases. Alright, how are they related? How are these objects related? Well, they're related based on these keys. Alright, these tables have relationships based on the keys. The most common relationship is between the primary key in one table and a foreign key in another. A foreign key is simply a key that relates back to the primary key. All right, again, if you're not getting that, or that didn't make sense, it will. Give it some time to sink in. Watch the video again until you get it. All right, take your time. So, right here we have. That's not what I wanted. So here, in our table here, we have, this is our customers table. Alright, we have our customers. Right, here is our primary key, and it is numeric. Customer ID, primary key, numeric. Down here, do you notice anything? How about Charlie? Right, number 13, number 13. Alright. The customer ID primary key is related to the customer ID and our orders table. Alright, so primary key, foreign key relationship. So we can't insert data into this table, our orders table, unless up here that we have a matching key in our customers table, right? And what do we see here? Well, we have number 13. So who is customer number 13? Right? Well, I mean, yeah, sure, you could look at the product name to know that OxyContin, Brie Olson, Candy Star, the department they're in, hookers and drugs. That's easy. I mean, sure, it could be Lindsay Lohan, but the alcohol is not mentioned here. We can see that it's Charlie Sheen. All right, he is number 13. Right? Customer ID 13 relates to the foreign key in the orders table, number 13, right there. Whoop. All right, that's the relationship. Now, what kind of relationship is this? All right, the foreign key is simply a key that relates back to the primary key. Here's the foreign key in our orders table, and it relates back to the primary key in the customer table. Straightforward stuff. Just takes a few minutes to wrap your head around it if you're new to this. Now, these tables have relationships based on the design of your database. All right, there are different types of relationships. There's a one-to-one. There's a one-to-many, which is the most common. And there's a many-to-many. And really the one I only want to touch on here is the one we're talking about, a one-to-many. And why is our table here a one-to-many? Well, we can see right here that we have one entity, one row, right? Charlie Sheen. Sorry, that's not what I want to do. Let's try that again. Ready? There's Charlie Sheen, right? And here is a customer ID for Charlie Sheen. One. There is only one Charlie Sheen, folks. All right, that's how you can remember it. He's unique among us. But he can order whatever he wants. And if this is our store and we're selling products to him and whomever around the world, we want him to buy as much as possible, right? So it makes sense that this is a one-to-many relationship. One Charlie Sheen can have many products that he buys. All right. Let's go take a look at it in what the database looks like. Oh, here we have alright, we go to our store and we have database diagrams. Now the first time you start database diagrams, it's going to give you a little message. Just go up here to let's see if I've created one in the VentureWorks database. So let's close this real quick. Alright, so let's just, out you go. Tables, database diagrams, let's see. Alright, here we go. This little error message, or a question message. The database does not have support for the objects for database diagram. Do you want to create them? Yeah, I do. Why else would I be clicking on it? Alright, so now we can go and create our ERD. Another technical term, right? ERD, entity, entities, right? We talked about that. Relationship, the relationships we want to see, diagram. Again, this stuff in rocket science, it just takes a little while to absorb. So our customer's primary key is right here, right? The primary key. Here is the key. The little key in our diagram. This specifies that this is the primary key, and this little symbol here, a little infinity, means that the relationship is one to many, and that many can be any number. All right. So what else do we see here? Well, we also see in we have another table here. And there's also a very similar relationship, right? So if we look at this table here, let's take a look at this. Can you pick out the foreign key in the orders table? Well, if we look back to the customer table, and we've said earlier that the customer table primary key is customer ID, and it relates to the orders table, and then we have a foreign key of the customer ID in the orders table, right? Alright, very straightforward stuff. Again, if you're brand new to this and you're brand new to databases, just take a little while for it to absorb. If you're not, and then you might want to move on to a section in the course study where you maybe can just jump in and you don't have to go through all these this very beginning information about relational databases. Alright, so let's stop there for this video on table relationships.